You know what? I know Labor Day is not here yet, but midterms are just around the corner, and Republicans are in a battle to keep control of the House. A lot's at stake. So what do they need to do to keep a majority in Congress? Let's ask a guy whose task it is to do just that. Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, who wants to be the next speaker. First off, the Wall Street Journal did a poll, and they asked people what's their preference in terms of control of Congress. 50 to 42, they want the Dems. How do you beat that?
Well, that changes week to week. If you go back 2.5 weeks ago, it was +3 for the Democrats. If that's +6 or less, we'll keep the majority. Now, remember this. History is against us, meaning the party in power, the party that gets the White House, normally loses seats by 30 on the off year. But the last party in power that had a GDP over 4%, they actually gained. And the difference is what this whole election is going to be about. It's going to be results versus resistance. The last time we had unemployment like this, tremendous. Think of this. In the last 49 years in America, unemployment's only been below 4% 8 months. 8 months in 49 years. And 3 of those 8 months was this year. Not one Democrat voted for that tax bill. So all this economic growth, they don't get any credit for it.
And right now we know this, that Democrats feel in many cases that their ticket to success could be vilify the president. If you look at what happened last week, if you look at some of the movements in the House in terms of impeachment, the votes that have already taken place. But the Wall Street Journal does a poll. He started the week with 46% approval rating, which is pretty high.
Yes.
And then you have, even though the disapproval is at 51, and then after the week from hell with his doorman, with the guy from the Inquirer, with his attorney, it drops just to 44%. So if you want to vilify the president, that might not be the Democrats' ticket to success.
That's why it's results versus resistance. Everything you just talked about was about Donald Trump years ago, nothing of what he's done in presidency. Look at what he has accomplished so far. One of the strongest economies ever. And it's not just for one segment of the economy. If you're African American, Hispanic, one of the best places you've been. But look what he's done with the VA. Put the very best people moving forward, get the bad people out. The GI Bill now is for a lifetime, not just 15 years.
Right.
I've been to 24 states just in this month alone campaigning for people. What I'm hearing out there is a whole different story. They can attack him all they want, but this president has proven results.
10 seconds. The president wants to nationalize this election, make it about him. Should he? Or should we just remember Clinton pulled back when he tried doing that. Other presidents pulled back. Should he stay out there?
I think it's hard to do in an off-presidential year. I think you should lay out exactly what were the results that the Republicans have been able to accomplish, but what would the Democrats do if they got the majority? They would abolish ICE. They would impeach the president. They already tried twice. And they would end Medicare as we know it.
But, Kevin, great to see you.
Great to see you.
He's a very busy guy. Still ahead is social media silencing conservatives. Jim Hansen just told us he's been shadow banned on Twitter. Charlie Kirk live next.